Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're checking out the Bullet Knights Exorcist here from Kotobukiya's Megami device line. So they've put out a couple of different Bullet Knights kits in the past. The Exorcist is the latest one, so it's sort of like a variant of the past ones, but it's got a really cool style to it. There is also the Executioner kit, which I will not be reviewing. By the way, I'm only going to be reviewing the Exorcist here with you guys, but both of them, of course, look very cool. This was just the one that I thought looked a little bit more cool to my particular taste, but let's go ahead and get right into it here with the Exorcist. Okay, so as usual, we got some beautiful box art here. Not only is the illustration very nice, but as usual, we got that really nice matte black background and just the gloss over like the text and the image here. So it's just got really nice presentation of the boxes for these. They always feel very premium in their feelings, so it's always really nice to check these out. So this is number 14 in the Megami device line. Here on the front, let's check out the little blurb of text there. The Bullet Knights series Megami device unit based on a sacred exorcist concept and developed as a variant of the Bullet Knights Lancer. This unit excels at close combat, achieved through omitting large weapons and adding a large scythe and heavy armor developed in cooperation with the MSG team. I guess that's Modeling Support Goods team. Newly developed thigh parts are also included to create different looks for this unit. Alright, so here on the bottom of the box we can see some images of what the kit is going to look like. They're in this sort of just kind of neutral stance there, front and back. Has this kind of big hood part there at the back sort of as well too. It's got this sort of cross weapon, which looks to be like that's going to be kind of clear parts for that. The hood part can kind of drop down over the face, which is kind of silly. I'm not really too into that, but you can do that as well too. You got some parts there look like kind of pistol sort of style weapons, which can be added onto the cross weapon there sort of as well too. The skirt armor just kind of also adds to just some extra armor for this. And then over here we can see how the kit is going to look just built up straight out of the box without any painting or decals or anything. So some cool decals for the symbols and things that are going to go around on the skirt. Those will be nice to add on to that. Around on the other side of the box, basically we can see what our face options are going to look like with this kit. You got kind of like a smirking face, face, and a face. And then we got some decals down here. It looks like I said, for the different markings and things, and then some eye decals in there as well. Over here, our list price for this one is coming in at 6,200 yen, which is a lot. As you guys can see, this box is a good size. It's not the thinnest box, but it's not all that thick either. But pretty standard price as far as Megami device kits goes. If you guys are into these kind of kits, then that really shouldn't come as too much of a surprise for you. We have a ton of runners in here, so some of them are small, yes, but there is just a lot of parts, a lot of runners in with these kits. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the waterside decals here first, because they look very nice. I'll go ahead and slide these out of there, because look at that nice gold. I was expecting that to just be kind of like a yellowish color or something like that is how it looks. It didn't necessarily look gold on the outside of the box, but it is, and it looks very cool. And then you have your eye decals as well too, which as always look great, but those gold decals especially are going to add a nice touch to this. Now for the manual, we just got the box art there on the front. You just got like kind of the full version of that on the back. There's just the Megami device logo on the inside. Some great references for posing the kit. If you need help posing the kit, figuring out what kind of pose you want to do with it, you got some really nice references in here for some different options, how to use that particular armor. It's just like, looks like it's going to be very versatile as to how you want to use the parts on there. So lots of customization options. That's one of the great things with these kits that you guys will hear me talk about quite a lot every time I review them, is that there's so many great customization options that you have just right in the box with them. So they're really fun to play around with to customize them. Here we have our parts list, and you can see that we are going to have some leftover parts there. I guess probably just things that are recycled from the Bullet Knights Lancer. So all those grayed out sections is all going to be leftover parts we will end up using for this kit. Then it just goes through the construction of everything, and then finally getting to the armor and the weapons and all of that good stuff. How to equip the kind of mask part there on that. How to swap out some different heads if you want to use like a frame arms girl head on this instead. Something like that. And then we've got our color guide down back here at the back. The decal guide here as well. This will serve as a decal guide for you for the face, and then for the rest of the kit, where to place all those decals around on it. So color guide is all there in Japanese, but a quick translation should sort that out for you if you're wanting to match the colors precisely. So let's just start off with taking a look at our different face options. We'll see them on the kit once that's all built up, but I mean, as usual, they look fantastic. The pre-painting on those look really nice. So some really nice expressions for this one as well too. It's got some very expressive faces, so it should be really great for doing some cool poses with this. Then we've got our hand tree all in white, which includes open resting hands, holding hands, open expressive hands, closed fists, and then trigger finger hands, then another set of holding hands and trigger finger hands with the fixed wrist joint on there, so that'd be for holding more heavy weapons. You might find those useful. We do have some polycaps included here in this purplish blue color, PCA. And then from the Modeling Support Goods MH06 set, we have runners A and B, 2 of each of those. These are used in a different, I think it's like a heavy shield or something like that, the set that these are originally from. These are also in that bluish purplish color. It skips over a C, but there is also a D runner from that set here as well, which we also have 2 of. Our A runner here for this kit is going to be a couple pieces here in flesh tone. And the B runner is a couple more parts in that purplish color for the body. The C runner, some more flesh tone parts. These are all pretty standard Megami device parts, it looks like so far. Runner D is some more skin tone parts here for the upper arms and upper thighs. Runner E is some wrist joints, knee joints, ankle joints, and some just joint parts on here. We've got 2 of this E runner. Runner F is going to be our base plate pieces, which as usual has this really nice mixed finish here where you have that glossy inset logo in there and then like a matte finish around the outside, so the base looks very nice. And the clear color is really nice as well too. It's like a yellowish orange, almost kind of like gold, clear gold looking sort of. It looks great. Runner G2 is one single little part on here for the chest. And runner H is back to some more of those clear orange parts here for the spacers in the arms and the thighs. Runner H2 in this light lavender color then is going to be some hair parts for the kit. Runner I, some more parts for the arms and legs. Runner J2, some more hair parts which are new specifically for this version of the kit. Runner K2 is some parts here in white. And then runner L, also a few pieces here in white. We've got 2 of this L runner. Runner L2 is a few more pieces in that dark purple. And runner M2, some more pieces in that beautiful clear orange color. Runners O1 and then also runner O2 are some more new pieces here in purple. Runner P1 is going to be our new thigh parts, which I guess should give us a little bit improved articulation, so that'll be nice. And then runner P2 is some more skin tone parts here as well. Runner Q looks like some recycled pieces from the Bullet Knights Lancer kit here, some armor pieces in white. Runner R, also in white, is some connection arm pieces, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of leftovers of these, which can be quite useful. Runner U is one more runner of some beautiful little clear parts on there. And runner Z is our typical joint piece we see in kind of all the Megami device kits, just for some additional joints for parts if you want to use those in white. So as I said, guys, and as you can see, there is a lot of parts in the box. Let me go ahead and get her all built up and we'll see how she looks. Alright guys, here she is all built up and very cool. I really love those clear orange accent parts, and they really added a nice touch to this. Without that, I think it would have been even a little bit plain looking as far as like color wise, because the purple and white combination is cool, but having that nice warm accent of those really nice, really cool, not temperature wise, but cool as in like awesome looking clear parts in there, add a really nice splash of that orange color that really make this looking very cool. And the face parts are great. They really added a lot of character to this character, as you'll see as we try out some different poses with this. But first of all, we do have some cool accessories to go over, so let's go ahead and just take a look at all of those here first. So first, the obvious accessory here is just this stand that's included. It's very simple, but again, it looks great, and they actually work really well as well too. If you guys have seen me doing my reviews of any of the Megami device kits before, I always talk about how much I like the stands for these because they're very simple, but they do a good job of holding up the kit in different action poses. For customizing the kit, you have alternate clear pieces for the upper arms and the thighs that will give you a hard point on there for attaching different pieces of armor, weaponry, whatever you might want to attach onto there. You also have an alternate piece for this cloth bit at the front of the waist section for if you wanted to have it like instead of just like resting flat like that for in like an action pose or something, you just swap that piece out. Then we have some pieces for making the kind of unarmored version, basically the unarmored just normal feet, and for removing these parts here on the legs, you just kind of remove those, and the main lower half of the legs the same, you just swap out the feet basically instead of these high heels, which again you really interestingly make use of those clear parts for the high heel shoes on this. You do also have alternate wrist pieces here that just don't have the attachment point for attaching these pieces onto the side of the forearm there. And also the sort of unarmored version of this neck piece. Instead of having these armor pieces on the front of the neck, it's just only the clear part by itself that you'll put on there. And then, while not technically an option piece that is shown in the manual how to build this, you do have the runner G2, which we saw before, which was just a single piece. This skin tone color piece here for the chest is the only piece on that runner, but that piece is grayed out in the manual, so you're actually, according to the manual, not supposed to use that, but you have it included on there as a single piece on a runner. But that will allow you to make this alternate chest piece, so while it's not actually mentioned in the manual, you can make an alternate chest piece for this, which is just made up of leftover parts. And just another instance of leftover parts that you might find useful is these parts here that will attach onto the side of the head. So if you didn't want to have this big kind of mask thing going up over the top of the head attached onto the side there, you can just pop these original ones on there instead from the regular Bullet Knights Lancer kit. Now, last couple like leftover optional pieces here too is also an alternate piece for the side of the arm if you prefer the style of that, and then the alternate neck joint piece which will allow you to plug a frame arms girl head onto the top of this instead. Lastly then is just talk about the weapons, which are kind of small and understated for this kit. You have these two kind of like big pistol sort of looking things, and then you have this clear cross bit which, you know, can be, I guess, is sort of like a weapon in itself. But what you can also do with this here too is take these pieces off and turn this into sort of like a hammer weapon, removing these pieces off the front of the pistols and just attaching them onto here. And yeah, this sort of becomes a kind of hammer, which could be pretty cool. But of course there's plenty of options as far as like customizing this that you could do. You could plug these onto a different point like that and have them a little bit higher up like this, for example, or something. You could also, I suppose, plug the cross bit into there as sort of like a firing effect part kind of thing out the front of the pistol, something like that, or turn it like to the side, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, last thing would just be then the version of the head without all the headgear on there. If you have, again, for the unarmored version, or if you want to keep it armored and just not have the hood on there, you have just the regular version of the hair. Well, let's just get to trying out some poses, and a couple things that I will point out to you guys that are some issues with this kit that a lot of Megami Device kits, most of them, kind of suffer from, is that like the shoulder blades on the back pop off kind of easily. It's a really cool detail of the kits, but they're always kind of a tender point that tend to just kind of pop off every time you're moving the arm. So that's a little bit of a problem. I would just go ahead and put a little bit of glue on those just to make sure those aren't coming off on you. It's just can be kind of annoying. Also, as far as like holding the actual cross in the hand and like using it as a hammer, for example, it's a bit wide, so you have to kind of hold it like more towards the narrow end, which is more towards the center of the cross, which looks a bit awkward. You want to hold it a little bit farther down, more towards like the handle of it if you're considering it as like a hammer. And so just the hand kind of is not that wide enough to, can't really hold that wider part towards the bottom of the cross there, unfortunately. So it's a little bit tricky to kind of get that to hold it in the hand to use it as a hammer. But anyway, one thing about this kit is that it does seem to be a little bit less on the weapons compared to other Megami Device kits, where you have a lot of customizability and like options going on with the weapons as far as like mixing and matching parts of the weapons, things like that. This doesn't really have so much as far as weapons, and I guess that probably could go towards just, I guess, the kind of character design of the character, I suppose. But a lot of the customization that you will be able to do with this will be more so related to like the shield parts that she has for her skirt section, which can be relocated around different places around on the kit, and all sorts of different orientations and things like that that you can do with those to any sort of cool way that you might want to use those. And honestly, I kind of just like the kind of default placement of those as like a kind of skirt of armor, sort of, basically. But there's lots of different options that you can do with those. I'll show you just a couple of them, but obviously there's a lot more that you could do with this kit, more than just what I'm able to show you guys in this video. A lot of the fun of these kits, in my opinion, is just from all the different customization options that you can do with them. That is all just comes down to your own creativity. But as far as my thoughts on this kit, guys, I mean, I always enjoy Megami Device kits, so I'm gonna give this a positive review. That said, of course, always the downside of these is that you know, when new ones come out, they tend to sell out pretty quick. So if you don't get them right away, it is kind of harder to get them a little bit later on a lot of the times. So availability might be an issue. Also, they are a little bit expensive, so I mean the price is always going to be a little bit of an issue as well too. But I think the quality is there. The quality of them is really nice. You do have a couple of loose parts here and there, but nothing that can be solved with just a little bit of glue, so that's easy enough to take care of. Lots of customized options in here if you enjoy doing that. If you want to customize this, and even mixing and matching with other kits in the line, of course, obviously be very compatible with the different Bullet Knights kits, for example, because they're using a lot of the same parts. The other Megami Device kits, and just kind of anything from Kotobukiya, is all going to be pretty compatible. They're all using a lot of the same system. This is using parts that are directly from the MSG support goods line. It's a very cool kit, but let me know your guys' thoughts about it down in the comment section below. What do you think about it? Is it one that you're planning on getting, or you already got, or maybe you're gonna skip this one and wait for another future release that's on the way? Let me know down in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and thank you as always to USA Gundam Store for making it all possible, guys. We do sell these kits, of course, at USA Gundam Store, as well as plenty of other different Kotobukiya stuff, Bandai, Gunpla, all that kind of stuff. So you guys can check the link and the coupon code to USA Gundam Store for you guys to use down in the video description below. Check that out. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. Liking the video, commenting, subscribing, all of that's greatly appreciated. Until next time, I hope you're all having a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.